I just started a new live video, period. Log away from this one, and the other one should show up. Well, that's embarrassing, guys. So let's give them a few, or get the other attendees a few moments to log back on, and we'll get back started. Hey, I call this live TV. Something's going to happen, right? So let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Bring it out a little bit so we can get nice and good view on that. There we go. Ish. There we go. Notifications. Let me jump on this one. Oops, wrong page. So I can watch for all your questions. There we go. May not get everyone back on, because I know that can be kind of annoying. But yeah, charge your camera, Anna. Okay, so let's get back to it. Here we go. So I'm just going to kind of start back over. I'm not sure when the video cut off, so I'm just going to start back here. So I've marked my fabric here, and I want to put an embroidery right here. So what I'm going to do is, again, I have my hoop and I put my grid in there. And just in case this didn't get caught on the last video, the grid has all kind of markings on it, and I'm going to use this center spot right here. And I'm going to place it into my hoop, just like so. And I'm going to line that center circle up with that center dot. Or center, or crosshair, really. Now all I have to do at this point is I'm going to keep this one close by. And I'm going to come here, and I'm going to reach up and pull up the first side and grab a hold of the hoop together. The next thing I'm going to do is the same thing to the next side, and I've just got it all together now. And I can take my bottom hoop and slide it underneath, and now I just can slide this on. And now my fabric's in there really good. And remember, I didn't loosen my my hoop too much. It was still tight, but not so tight that I couldn't push it in. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to just come in here and just give it a little bit more tightness to hold it in the hoop so it doesn't pop out. That would not be fun. And now I can take out the grid. So I've got my design centered where I want, or excuse me, I've got my fabric centered exactly where I want. Now, you notice I'm not going to pull. I refuse to pull the fabric, but I can always give it a little bit of a tautness. So I can come over to each corner, put my thumbs right here, and I'm going to flip it around and give it just a baby bit of a push. And I'm going to do that on each side. Just a baby bit of a push. And that's just going to give me a little bit more tautness. And now I'm ready to go. So again, this is just if you have, you know, something that you just need to hoop, and it's not something crazy like a shirt or a towel or something like that. But we are going to talk about that. So any questions on that? That's just a quick and easy demo. Quick, what do we call that? Quick and dirty? A quick and dirty hooping. Now, if I wanted to do something like a shirt or a onesie or something like that, I will tell you, for onesies, Kimberbell came out with this really cool onesie that opens all the way up. So that's a lot easier. Now, but if I have the traditional onesie, like this little guy right here, what I'm going to do is, of course, mark where I need my design to go. So I'm just going to make a mark. I like to use the crosshair because that way when I go line up my needle, I have a center point. So I put my little crosshair there. But the next thing I do is I'm going to turn it inside out. So I am going to just turn it inside out. And I can generally sometimes see that crosshair or that marking through there. And I like to put just a little point there so I have something to see. I will then take my stabilizer. And this is where you could use a piece of fusible stabilizer. So let's pretend like this is fusible stabilizer, and I'm going to fuse it to it. I'm then going to take my bottom hoop, and I'm going to lay this guy on the bottom hoop here. Now remember, he's inside out. So what I'm going to do now is smooth this out. And again, this is kind of quick and ugly, but you'll get the idea. Smooth him out. And I can bring this hoop inside of the onesie. And I can hoop it. Now I'm way off of my mark. Of course I'm going to take more time to do this. So that way he's holding in there, and I can come up through here, and you will have to use something like a tape or something like that to hold this out of the way. That's just the easy way to do it. Now you can float this on top, but I tell you it's much easier to hoop it because it's going to stay in place. So you can take some tape, which I have right here. And I use the R&K Embroidery Perfection tape for all my little tools. And I'm sorry if that got off the camera a little bit. For all my little embroideries. And I can take this tape and you can start rolling. So let's start down here. I'm just going to roll, roll, roll. And then I can take my tape, place it here, just like that. Now I'm going to come to this side. And there may be some other cool little tools that you find to do this with. So I'm just going to just kind of take everything and roll it, roll it, roll it. Because I want to roll it out of the way. I'm actually going to tape this to the back. Yes, that's fine. You just got to make sure that everything's laying nice and flat. The tape, you may want to just make sure it's really smooth back there. And then I'm rolling, rolling, rolling to the next side. And rolling, rolling, rolling to the next side. Now again, you would have a mark. And I used to never do this when I was doing baby onesies, and I was literally had the worst success hooping it this way. I would just lay the baby onesie up here and use my fingers to hold everything out of the way. Talk about a nightmare. So that, you know, doing something like this, of course this looks really ugly. Doing something like this, but taking your time and really, you know, getting it straight and all that, is you're going to have a much better experience to this. And shirts, I would kind of do the same thing. Now, shirts are generally bigger, so you can kind of move them out of the way. But we need to move all that stuff out of the way. And again, I would fuse this with a warm iron to the back here. Just enough. I wouldn't do it like super hot, because when we're done with the embroidery, what we do is we take this out. And we're going to trim really close to the embroidery when it's done. And if this is fused to this, what we can do is take that warm iron again and press it, and what it'll do is heat up that adhesive on the stabilizer, and you can gently start bringing it away. So, very ugly version, that's because I'm on camera, but something like a shirt or a baby onesie, you're going to kind of do it this way. So you may have a better technique. If you do, hey, show us. We'd love to see it. I'd love to see what y'all do. So I'm just going to set that to the side. And ta-da, there we go. The next thing I want to show you is hooping the unhoopable. So what I have here, this is that sticky tearaway. And again, the stickies come, you can get them in tearaways, you can get them in cutaways, you can get them in washaways. So this is a really great material, stabilizer to use, because there's things that we cannot hoop. So what you do is, it's going to have a side that you feel that is the stabilizer, but it's also going to have a shiny side. See that shiny side? I'm going to take and place the shiny side up in my hoop, and this one you'll want to loosen up the hoop just a little bit extra. And I'm just hooping the stabilizer. And I like to kind of squish it down in the hoop, kind of get that feel. Now some hoops will have areas on them where you're supposed to match up. So that means on my hoops I have a little arrow here, right here. And then I have a little arrow back here. So I want to match those arrows. And I'm then just going to take and push my hoop in. And then give it a tighten. And just make sure it's in there good. Now, I want to show you guys something, because as of starting this, not the second video, but the first video, we were at 749 members. And remember, I told you at 750 members, we're going to do a giveaway. And I wanted to show you one of the tools that I'm giving away. So this is made by Jim Swank. It's absolutely beautiful. He hand makes these tools. So look at that wood. Oh, my husband was like, oh my gosh, I want that. And I'm like, nope, nope. These are going to my ladies. So what this tool does is, number one, it has a seam ripper on one end, and then it has a nice stiletto on the other. Stilettos are great for sewing, but it's sharp enough that I can use this as a scorer. That is not a word, but I'm going to use it. Okay, so I'm going to do what we call scoring, because I have to remove this paper topper right here. And so if I show you over here on this piece right here, what I'm going to do is press just hard enough to break through the paper, but not cut through the stabilizer. So if you can see that right here. So I'm going to do that in the center here. And you can score however you want. What I do is a big X. And I'm not pushing so hard that I'm going to go through the stabilizer. I'm actually just going through the paper. And I'm going to tear that away. And then I'm going to put that back on so I don't hurt myself. You can also use a pen to do this, or a pair of scissors, whatever works for you. And I do get it all the way around. Some people, or I've seen sometimes just do the center here. I like the whole thing because I want my material to stick to the whole thing. So now what I have is a towel here, because maybe I want to put a monogram on this towel. And I do have to do some measuring. I have already done a video on this. You can just go back and look through the videos on the measurements. But this is how you use the sticky tearaway for towels. So what I do is I fold it completely in half. Now, in my beforehand, I would have decided where I want the monogram to go. And on my hoop, I have a center line right here, so I can just lay that right there. And first I'm going to press over here, and then I'm going to smooth it out. And now it is on the stabilizer. And then, of course, I would take my, this is not the heat away, but I would take a piece of heat away and lay on top of this and then do my embroidery. So there, you know, if you want to be a floater with just regular fabric, what I would do is use a sticky. So if I just had a piece of cotton, because I know some of you out there just like to float, and that's how you do all your embroidery, and that's totally cool. But so you would just basically do it the same way. But remember, with floating, you're going to get a little bit more puckering. But you can take and smooth that down, you know, after you center it, and it is in there. So it's a really cool stabilizer. I really like this. I like the sticky stabilizers for different projects that I'm doing. So let's see. Okay, so this is going to be question and answer time, because I pretty much have showed you everything that I wanted to show you. So I'm going to give you some time to start asking questions. I'm going to put the camera back on me. I'm actually, I got to be careful. I've got me plugged in. So you're about to see me. Hi. But yes, everything behind me will be backwards. This way I can read your comments this way. So much easier. I just don't like things to be backwards. Okay, so I am going to scroll through here. Can you use the sticky stabilizer more than once? Well, so let's say you leave this in here and you just did an embroidery design. So let's fake it, and you gently tore it out of the hoop. So I'm going to fake it a little bit. This is what you can do, because I know we're trying not to be wasteful with things. I understand that. So if you leave it in the hoop and you've tore it away and you have just this little bitty opening, what can you do? You can take a little piece of your sticky stabilizer. So I've got a little piece here, and I'm going to just cut me a hunk that's, a little bit bigger than the opening. I say a little bit, but, kind of make it a nice size bigger than the opening. I can remove the paper backing, maybe, and then place this on the wrong side. So I'm going to stick it to the wrong side, and I can smooth it. So basically I'm patching it. So see, I've patched it. You can do that. I just wouldn't keep doing it. Maybe do it a couple times. Just don't do it over and over and over again. So, good question. All right. Thank you, Chris. Anna, that is a great great point. So if you're going to float something, even the towels, because I do that with my towels, is on my machines, I have the option to use a basting stitch. So make sure you turn that basting stitch on, and that'll really hold it down. So good point, Anna. Okay. Pam asks, recommended stabilizer for doing a towel. Sticky tearaway for the back, and what was the top? Okay, so sticky tearaway for the back, yes. And then I use a heat away topper on the top. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions? Okay, so I'm just going to wait for your questions for a moment. If you just happen to join back on, I do apologize for my camera dying and having to start this back on. You'll want to rewatch the beginning where we did some, I showed you 3 different things to hoop. So you can rewatch that at your leisure. Let's see. Thank you so much for this great. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Janet. I appreciate it. Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks, Dory. So hopefully I went over a lot. I mean, a couple hours worth of stuff, and hopefully you learned something from it. And like I said, I am not the end-all be-all, nor will I ever be the end-all be-all. Whatever works for you works for you. But I just wanted to make sure if you're a new embroiderer, you had some place to go to make sure you can find, you know, what you're looking for. Or, you know, just give you some stuff, you know? Yeah. Okay, Pam, not stabilizer related, but how do you tack down towels? You have a basting stitch that's built into your machine. I think you have the Solaris, right, Pam? And let me go to, I have to move this. Your basting stitch, if you have a baby lock, let me show y'all what that will look like. And the screen is probably going to be a little backwards. Let me pull up a design. So on your final embroidery screen, so let's get in there. This is a terrible view. But let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Oh my gosh. I swear I got the wrong tripod. Okay, so this is my final screen. And it is backwards on your screen, but you can go to layout, and it's going to be this button that has a flower and a little box around it with a little stitch line. So that is your basting stitch. So if I tap that, what it's going to do is add a line around my design. I love that stitch, or I love that wolf there. Okay, let's get back to, oh, hello ladies. There we go. Okay. If I made an applique in my hoop with multiple hoopings, now I want to sew it on a shirt. What I have to, oh no, hold on one second. Oh, Jean, I can't get your whole question to show up. I might have to answer you afterwards, Jean, because I can't get the whole, so we have more notes, part 5 functions. Are you going to do another video? Thanks for today. I learned a lot. And I wasn't going to go over that today because I wanted this to be really broad, but I totally could do a video on the baby lock functions, baby lock / brother functions. If you have a baby lock, absolutely, we can do that. But I know we have people in the group that maybe don't have a baby lock, and I want them to feel included, of course. So I wanted this to be very broad. Freestanding lace. Oh, good question. Freestanding lace. Okay. Freestanding lace, you're going to use a wash away stabilizer. And basically, it'll look like a no-show mesh. But I like to take 2 layers and stack them on top of each other and do freestanding lace. No, not tack down, I meant underlay. Oh, let me go back to your question. How to add, an underlay. You can't really do that in your machine. You have to do, use like a palette software for that, to add that in there. Thanks, Mary. Thank you. You've been here since the beginning. I really appreciate you. Thanks, Elaine. Can you explain when you use the basting stitch? Sure. So let's say that towel. You remember how I showed you how to do the towel? So I'm going to lay that towel on top, and I'm also going to lay down that piece of heat away topper. And what I can do is go in there into the embroidery screen, which I just showed you, and select that that basting stitch. Number one, what it's going to do is it's going to baste it to your stabilizer. So that way, if anything happens, it's not going to fly out of the hoop. It doesn't happen, but you know. But it's also going to tack down that topper so it doesn't get all crazy on you. Functions video, okay. Baby lock function class. All right, I hear y'all. Alexis, let me go back and look. I don't think you're seeing my comment. Asked a question 5 times. Let me go back, Alexis, and look for your... If it was in the last video, I might have missed it. Okay, Alexis, ask your question. Maybe I'll get to see it this time. Have fun with it, Dory. Brother function class would be okay. So Jeanette, I'll do it'll be on the baby locks, but it's the same. So we'll definitely do that. We'll do like a baby lock brother function class. Thanks, Robin. And Alexa, send me your question. Type it up. Alexis, when I said your name, my Alexa just went off. She's like, sorry, I didn't get that. Okay. Can you do an ID? Yeah, Janet, I have done several of those. If you go back through the videos, and under the photos section, you'll be able to find all kind of IQ classes that I've done. There's tons of them. So I've already made 20 videos, and not all of them talk about IQ Designer, but a lot of them do, and it'll say IQ Designer. I just typed it, LOL. What? Alexis? I can't find it. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Oh my gosh, she's going off. Alexa, if we're having problems, go ahead and just, message me. You can message me. Just go find my name and message me. And then I can, we'll figure out what question you have. Okay, so thank you guys so much for coming today. I hope you learned something. I'm here for you. Just ask questions. I'm going to head off. However, it was a weird day, but I'll be back tomorrow at 5. I still don't know what we're going to go over tomorrow, but I'll find something to do. And yes, I will work on a functions class. And sorry about the breakup in the video. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Go hug your babies. Go hug your doggies, your kittens, and your kids. Y'all have a great one. And remember, shop small, shop local. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Bye, guys. I gotta find my button. Bye, guys.